Hello and good morning, Emily.
Hi, good morning.
What is it like to create a book that, I know it's for National Geo Kids, but you know darn good and well that every person on this planet, especially adults, are going to page through this going, oh my God, I didn't know.
Absolutely, yes. This has been a really fun book to work on. It's actually the first book I've ever worked on with National Geographic Kids, and it's been a learning experience for sure. For me, I feel like I can on trivia or go on Jeopardy or something and win it all with all these facts that are stored inside my brain. So I'm sure parents and kids alike will love it.
Well, the book we're talking about is called That's Factastic. The title alone says, what's this all about? And then when you nosedive into it, you really do go, whoa, that's factastic.
Absolutely. Yes, we've got this beautiful cover. We had a whole team working on this book together. We had multiple writers and researchers and a design and photo team that really made this book come to life. And there's a lot of really miscellaneous facts, but they're fun and bite-sized and sorted by theme on each spread. So everyone's going to have their favorite, but you'll learn a ton along the way.
So, one of the things that really captured my attention inside the book was Intriguing Asia. And I had no idea that giant concrete hand on a bridge. I want to go there because I just want to see that giant concrete hand.
I know we've got a ton of facts for attractions that you can see around the world, and it really just makes you want to get out and explore, but also you want to explore a little bit in your own backyard and different things, whether you live in a city or a wooded area, you want to explore now. Like after reading this book, I just want to get out and find some weird things that are around me, but also, yes, absolutely, around the world, there's a ton of really interesting facts in here.
Well, speaking of interesting facts, creating cheese from the bacteria taken from your human toes and the belly button, come on.
Absolutely, yeah, don't want to eat that cheese.
It's interesting things like that creates conversation, and I think that's where we are in life right now. Is that we don't just want to converse with people our own age. We want to talk with everybody.
Yes, absolutely. I think that's really what I love about this book is that there are these bite-sized little pieces that you can share with a group or just even dive deeper and learn more about on your own time. So I really like that about this book, these little tidbits that you can really just have fun with as well. They're, as you said, that's a little bit of a grosser one. I do have to say it is one of my favorite facts in this book. There's a whole spread on cheese. So if you like cheese, maybe not that kind of cheese created by toe and belly button bacteria, but there's a whole spread on it if you want to learn more.
Well, I didn't realize that the Amazon jungle was so dense. The vegetation is so thick that it can take up to 10 minutes for the actual rain to even reach the ground. How does it stay so fertile then?
Yeah, it's insane. I had no idea. It takes just that dense tree cover, the canopies in the Amazon create that, and parts of the Amazon get about 400 inches of rain every year. So a lot of rain going on there. It just takes a little time to reach the surface.
We need to talk directly to the moms and dads who are listening, and the reason why is because the size of this book is perfect for kids, and it's structured exactly for that as well. Where they can go page by page. It can take a good beating.
Oh, absolutely. This is a really giftable book. It's a hardcover. It's almost 200 pages and absolutely very bite-sized facts. You can read it front to back. You can take a look at the table of contents and see what interests you most and start from there. It's a great book to, before going to bed, maybe read 10 facts and then pick up again the next day. It's a great gift.
So now, did your mother, being a school teacher, did she inspire you to want to be able to do this kind of, reporting or journalists and stuff where you really go in there and dig into the weird and unnormal?
Absolutely. She became a teacher when I was a little bit older, but she's always been a teacher at heart and has always been quizzing me on math facts and what's going on. And I think even today, she definitely inspires me. And I've had the opportunity to go into her classroom before and get to know what they're learning and get to know our audience a little bit better. And kids are just so smart and so curious. And it's really exciting to be able to create content like this that is perfect for them.
I something that really caught me off guard here is, and it's only because I've collected blue jay feathers, and it says that blue jay feathers are actually brown. I've never found a brown blue jay feather, but according to this, it says they're brown.
Yes, if I'm not mistaken, it has to do with the reflection of it and how it kind of meets the eye. Yes, that's a very interesting fact. We've got a ton of variety in here, and it kind of makes you question the world around you. Again, that immediate exploration in your backyard, it can happen anywhere.
Because it's like we get them because they're migratory birds, and so when they come to the Carolinas, I mean, it's like so in reality, and I know that we're both not scientists, but it's like, so what are we seeing? I mean, because I'm on that section called Brilliant Facts about the color blue, and I'm reading so many incredible things about blue that reconnect me to a different thing.
Exactly. It's really, but that's what I love about all our books in general, but specifically this book. It kind of looks at those lesser known facts. Everyone loves facts about the, wildlife and the African animals and giraffes, but this really includes those things, but focuses on the things that you might encounter in your everyday life, and you might just think of them a little bit differently now. So yes, that's a great fact, and there's tons more like it in this book.
A lot of things have been happening at the baseball field over these past 100 years, and especially here in the Carolinas at Bark in the Parks, where the dogs get to go to the park. But that's not the kind of dogs you're talking about. You're talking about 19 million hot dogs are sold at the park each year?
I know. Isn't that crazy? I couldn't believe it. That was one that I had to double check, but yeah, that's a real fact right there. That's a crazy one.
But I totally get that, because I've been to Wrigley Field in Chicago, and the first thing that we did on that first base line was, give me the dogs. I got to have my dogs.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't know how much I contributed to that 19 million, but it's got to be a significant amount.
How do you guys research for a book like this? Because, I mean, this is no thin book. I mean, you really put a lot of information inside this book.
Yes, it absolutely took a team. We had 2 writers on this project. We had researchers, and then we had the designers and photo editors really have this book come to life in these bright and beautiful pages. So it definitely took a big team to make sure that it was fun, engaging, snappy facts, but also really well researched. So this was a really fun one to be a part of.
Well, speaking of fun, I didn't realize that our feet can taste garlic. How is that possible?
I know. You don't have taste buds on your feet, so don't start dipping your feet into different kinds of foods, because you're not going to get the same result. But yeah, there's a molecule in the garlic that soaks into your skin and then goes into your bloodstream and then eventually makes its way to your mouth, and then you have the feeling of tasting garlic. So garlic is definitely a strong smell, a strong taste, so it really resonates with your whole body.
So do you guys go into market research? Do you have little groups that get together so you can watch kids, read through the book? I mean, how is it that you know what subjects to put in such a book like this?
That's a great question. This is my first year with National Geographic, and I'm still getting the lay of the land. And I know a lot of people, we have like group brainstorms that have been really helpful. And, a lot of the people that work here have kids that kind of share what they're interested in. And, I've spoken to my mom, who's a 3rd grade teacher, and I got a sense of what she's working on with her kids and how we can make interesting content that sometimes is even adjacent to the curriculum that they might be working on. But I know in years past, before COVID, that they have done some research going into schools and speaking directly with children, and I'm really hoping that we can pick back up again with that.
Well, I think the people over there at Disney need to look at this book when it comes to pirate movies, because that black flag says we're not going to injure any sailors. But if it's a red one, we've got some problems here. I mean, I did not even know this.
Yes, that's a really interesting one, and again, there's a ton more like it. Who would have thought we'd have a whole page, 2 pages dedicated to
Right.
pirate facts? We've got 2 pages dedicated to hotels. There's so much in here, and there's just so much more that meets the eye. Even though this is a thick book, you're still surprised when you open it up to see how much is inside.
And walking the plank, that really wasn't something that pirates did. I thought that was interesting.
Yes, very interesting. I love this. Is a really great page. And there was also the fact about pirates rarely burying treasure because they preferred to spend it, or because the loot was either food or clothing. So that was an interesting one. There's definitely some misconceptions out there about pirates.
Now, the game of basketball, because we're going into March Madness right now, and everybody thinks they are the masters. They're the armchair quarterbacks of what's going on. But the game of basketball, the size of that ball is not what they've always played with?
Yeah, that's a really interesting one. They used to use soccer balls for basketballs. That was a really interesting one. And I also learned that, I believe this is on the soccer spread actually, that the first game that used a ball was about 3,000 years ago, and they used tree resin as the ball. So there's a ton in here, really. There's a ton to appeal to so many different people with different interests.
Yeah, interest is like a meteorite that if you ever found one, it's $1 million per pound. That's it. I'm going to give up on the lottery. I'm going to go looking for some meteorites.
There you go. I hope you make it big.
So where can people go to find out more about this book and to find out more about how National Geographic Kids really is actively involved with our little ones?
Yes, absolutely. So you can find this book wherever books are sold. Check out your local bookstores. It's also on the Shop Disney website. And yes, we just really want to continue fostering that sense of curiosity and exploration. So dig into this book. We have a ton more that can appeal to maybe your niche interests and miscellaneous fact books as well. So yeah, this is a great one, and I hope everyone likes it.
Well, I hope you get to come back to this show anytime in the future, because the door's always going to be open for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I would love to come back.
Well, you be brilliant today, okay?
Yes, you too. Take care. Thank you so much.